Do you want to improve your balance but not sure how? Or you've been practicing but haven't seen any success yet? Hi, I'm Jenny Lu. In this video, we're going to learn 5 simple exercises that strengthen your leg muscles and help you to achieve greater stability and confidence in your balance. Make sure to stay until the end of the video to catch some bonus tips too. Grab a yoga mat, a sturdy chair. Let's get started. So set your sturdy chair up next to you within arm reach distance in case if you need it throughout our practice today. So in order to have good balance, we really need strong leg muscles to support us. So we're going to go over this first exercise, which is squats. It's excellent for building quadriceps and then also your hamstrings and then also glutes. Okay, so you're going to start with your feet separated about hip width apart. So I'm going to set you up this way first, okay? So toes pointing forward, and then when you soften your knees, soften your hip joints, your toes will be pointing forward, kneecaps will be tracking towards the toes, okay? So that means if we squat up and down, your knees are going to keep going this way without you collapsing the knee, right? That's not good. We're also going to work on something to strengthen your inner thigh muscle too. Also the outer hip area, right? Abductors. And then you want to make sure you're not flaring your knees out. So just make sure they're going straight. Okay, so once you're there, I'm going to turn to give you my profile view. So we're going to slowly soften at the hip joints, and you're going to start to sit back as if you're trying to sit on an invisible chair. So we're not going to sit too far. You can definitely hold on to the chair for support. I do want to make sure that you are keeping a nice straight back. That means you're not hunching at the spine or sticking your butt out. Okay, so just kind of sit back, right at the hips, right, hinging at the hips, and then until you feel your quads, right, on top of your thighs, and then you're going to slowly squeeze yourself up to standing. And right now you're using your hamstrings on the back side of the thighs and then your glutes, right? Those powerful muscles to help you come up. So let's try again. Breathing in. Arms are going to come to the front to kind of help us to counterbalance the weight that's going to the back. You can touch the chair or not. And then when you come up, you're going to really squeeze. So activate those strong leg muscles all around, right? The front, the back, and then you're squeezing your glutes. Okay, let's try one more. In and breathing out. So feel that your leg muscle hugging the bones. That's really good for supporting our stability, our legs. And then also it's really good for our bone density too. So when the legs muscle are strong, it's easier for the bones to be supported. Okay, so I wanted to show you, if you were to say want to make the pose harder, you can definitely sink lower. Okay, so lowering just to the point, we're still keeping the knees over the toes, so then you're not sending the knees forward too much. You're just gonna sit until you're like feeling, you're gonna start to feel your thighs getting warmer, and then squeeze yourself up. Okay, or you don't have to go too far, but you do wanna be able to feel your legs working. Inhale on your way down. Exhale when you're squeezing, bringing yourself up. Okay, and then just kind of relax your body a little bit, gently shaking out your legs. I'm going to stay facing this side. I want to give you the second exercise, which is a really nice one to do with the first one. Okay, so this next one, definitely one finger on the chair or two, just so you have this connection in your brain that you have something stable right here. Okay, so we're going to practice heel raises. So from here, you're going to slowly lift up and down, right? Very basic. We have a support, so ground level up. And as you practice this one, let me face you again, okay? So we want to make sure that you are aligning your legs correctly, toes are pointing forward again, and then kind of notice, paying attention, when you come up, are your ankles shaking, or are you able to kind of activate all the toes, right? From the big toe to the pinky toe, let them help you to prop up. So everything's all connected in the body. So a lot of times balance is not just the weakness in one part, but it's all connected. It could be an ankle joint, maybe knees or the hips, or the muscles not strong enough. So we're slowly working our way up. Okay, so you're gonna go up and down a few more times. and just to feel, right, until you feel your calves talking to you. So this exercise is great for overall stability. And then let's add it together with squats, okay? Again, if you need the chair, it's in front of you. I'm just gonna scoot back. So very simply, breathing in on your way down, right? Legs correctly aligned. When you exhale, squeeze your way up. So really feel the thigh muscles strong and the glutes squeezing up. You can open the chest. Okay, let's do a few more. Inhale. Sitting back to the point you feel your quads working. Exhale, squeeze yourself up. Chest open, reach those arms back. Inhale. Squeeze. So come up a little bit slower, a little bit more intentionally, and feel the connection inside. Breathing in, nice, strong, straight back. Breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, very good. Kind of shake it out. And if you feel there's some soreness, feel free to just kind of tap a little bit, releasing some of the stagnant energy that we might be holding on the inside. Exercise number 3, inner thigh squats. So this one we're going to open up to horse riding stance or goddess pose in yoga. So what you're going to do, you want to make sure you're opening your toes out about 45 degrees. And again, if you need the chair, it's going to stay right in front of you. Okay, hold the chair this way. And then you're going to slowly just soften at the hips. And then from here, checking to make sure the knees, again, tracking towards the toes. I'm going to turn around just to show you my spine, the alignment, okay? So you do want to make sure you're kind of gliding down an invisible wall behind you. So that means you're going to drop the tailbone slightly. We're not making a ducktail, right? So core is going to be strong in this stance. And then when you're practicing this one, you can feel same thing. You can bring your hands on the front. You can hold a posture and then exhale this way. Or you can just do the same thing we did before, right? So you can do up and down a few times. Make sure your toes are not opening up too much. That way when you come up here, your knees, maybe you're not pointing the same direction. Same thing. If your toes are not open enough, your knees might also not be facing the right direction. So do that a few times. And once you make sure my knees are good, I'm feeling my thighs, right? Inner thighs, your glutes, your thighs, your hamstrings, your quads. We're gonna get going a few more times, okay? So squeeze again, your thigh muscle, quads, hamstrings, glutes on the way up, okay? And then let's practice a few more times. Inhale and exhale. Yep, breathing in, breathing out. In and out. You get to control how deep you go, so only descend to the spot where you feel, yep, I start to feel my muscle, and then slowly coming up. So just kind of walk along the edge of the comfort zone, right? Get a little bit uncomfortable, and then we can build muscle that way. Okay, so taking your time. Again, I would do it slow and deliberate and intentional. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Yeah, when your alignment is good and you can do it intentionally, you can practice this a little bit faster, but in the beginning, definitely slower, more deliberate is better. Okay, you can definitely shoot for 1 minute for this one. All right, so taking your time, letting your toes point forward, just kind of shift your hips a little bit and then taking your legs out. Exercise number 4, we're going to practice lunges. So we're going to practice the basic stationary lunge, and then when you get comfortable, we can do the moving one. Again, if you need the chair, you're going to hold. So we're going to put the hands either on the hip joints, or if you need, you're holding the chair, and we're going to step the left foot back. So take your foot back. You can also have the chair next to you this way, right? So your back toes down, heel lifted. So then when you bend your knees this way, your knees, both of them, are about 90-90, okay? That's if you have no strain in your knees. So you can do this, make sure the back knee is not kissing the floor, and your front hands on the front, coming up, your arms like this. And then when you exhale, we come up, okay? So inhale, exhale. So you could probably feel it, right? The thighs quads on the front, hamstrings, your glutes. And when we get to work now, because the back heel is lifted, you are stretching, right? The sole of your foot, your plantar fascia. And then we're also activating the stabilizing muscle in your legs. So we're already working on balance. Okay, and then hands on the hips, come over, shake out, slide the other leg back. So from here, you just want to take your time, make sure your shoulders are stacked right on top of your hip joints. And then we're going to like give it a go a few more times, okay? So squeezing and exhale. You're going to feel the back leg a little bit more. We work a little bit, that back leg's a hip flexor, right, top of the hip joints. And then you want to make sure you're staying fairly stable. Both feet are separated, right, on two separate tracks. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, and exhale. Smile on your face, relaxing your brain. Your core engaged, okay? All right, slowly coming back. So if that felt comfortable, easy, stable, or as you progress, what you can do is you can do front lunge, back lunge. So I'll break that down for you guys. Okay, so we can step to a little bit towards the back side of the mat, and then that's when you feel stable. You don't need chair, or maybe you're next to a wall. So you're gonna slowly go forward, down, step back, right? So lunging to the front, and you keep the same shape in the legs like we did before. And if you were to do the lunging backwards, it's gonna feel a little different than the other one. Okay, you can definitely use your arms to balance. Right, they're gonna feel a little bit different, especially if you're really intentionally, and then just make sure your knees are protected. Exercise number 5. So we finally arrived here, balancing exercise. You can definitely practice again from the ground up, have a wall next to you, have a finger on a chair, and then let's practice balancing on one leg. Okay, so you can start with your feet about hip width apart and just gently pouring the weight from one side to, the other, and then have your left leg. We can be mirror images of each other. You can have your left leg be your supporting leg. So you want to make sure that leg, toes pointing forward, and then your knee is tracking towards the toes, and your hip joints are soft and knees are soft. Okay, so we're using the muscles that we strengthened with the previous 4 exercises to help support the body up. And then the other leg, your choice. You can start with empty foot stance. So when you're here, you can start with your toes touching, your back is gonna be straight, right? I can be right here. And then a lot of times when we practice balancing exercise in class, we'll usually pivot the supporting leg a little bit, supporting leg right over here, so then the toes are kind of open just a little bit to the side. So then you feel a little bit more stable comparing to standing straight this way, okay? So once you're here, you can always start in here with a few breaths, and then when you feel pretty good, lift your leg up. Okay, so maybe a few breaths here if you don't need the chair, and then try it out. So your goal is to at least get your leg to maybe this level, about the hip level if you're able to. You can always practice right at the lower level, and then when you get more comfortable, draw your knee even closer to your chest with your back still fairly straight. So again, you can stretch your arms up to the side. If you want, you can hold prayer posture. I'm gonna make sure to link another video that I did tree pose with different variations to help you with your balance exercise. Okay, let's take a breath. Inhale, then exhale. So tap your hips a little bit, both sides, and then we're gonna practice on the other side. So again, we're gonna pour the weight, and then you're just gonna pivot the supporting foot out a little bit. So when you're here, this foot is at an angle, and then you're gonna get ready, have your chair or your wall next to you, have your back nice and straight, tailbone drop down, so then our core is also slightly engaged. You can start with empty foot stance. That just means the foot over here is about maybe 5% of the weight, 95% of the weight is over here. So once you feel you're getting stable here, lift, maybe, right, halfway, flexing at the ankle, maybe all the way over here. And take a breath again. You can try different postures with your arms. So the key is really to ground yourself through your foot, your leg, connecting to your lower abdomen, second chakra in yoga, or lower dantian in Tai Chi or Qigong class, 2 inches below your navel, about third way in towards the center of the body. And then you're gazing, right? Now I'm looking at you, but when you're practicing, gaze at a point in front of you, eye level that's not moving, or keeping the neck straight down to the floor about 6 feet or so in front of you, so then your neck is not drooping, okay? So if you feel pretty good, you can draw your knee even closer. You can hold, maybe not, okay? When you get really good, feel free to actually gently close your eyes. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, coming down. Very good. And tapping the hips out. So with all of these exercises, you want to start practicing at least 3 times a week in order to build muscles, right? Strengthen muscles at least 3 times a week. So you give the muscles an opportunity to, right, kind of cheer and then rebuild. So if you can do even more, it's even better. And then start small. Small meaning that maybe you're starting your reps with like 8, 10, 12, 15, and then or you can look at the timer. So if you're super busy, one of my favorite way to squeeze exercise in is just build it on top of the things you already have to do. A really easy time is when you're brushing your teeth. So 2 minutes every time, right? So morning, evening, and after lunch for some of us, right? So you can easily squeeze in these exercises in your day. So starting with maybe 15 seconds of balancing, or 30, and then move your way up to a minute, and then progressively working your way up to longer duration, and then also increase difficulties. Another bonus tip is to keep upright posture when you're walking. So when there is this fear of falling, when you walk, we have a tendency of leaning the body forward because we want to ensure we don't kick anything on the ground. But when you're doing this, your upper body is leaning forward, you already are taking yourself out of your alignment, out of your center of gravity, and then we're kind of a little bit of top heavy. So with consistent practice, with the exercise we're doing, the 5 exercises, and also I'm going to make sure to link another video on ankle mobility and stability to support the whole body, because everything's connected, right? So with all of these exercises, maybe when you're walking, instead of thinking, I don't want to fall, you can think that I am strong, I am centered, and you can still look forward. Your peripheral vision will cover the space, the ground you're walking. And then as we get stronger, we're staying in our center. Maybe if there's a bump in the road, or you by accident kick the curb, which is maybe just a few inches high, that we wouldn't just fall completely top heavy onto the ground. We will have enough dexterity, flexibility, mobility to lift, right? Sometimes it's just lifting, maybe flexing at the ankles, and then lift the leg just a little bit so you hop over that obstacle. You can step up to the curb instead of falling. The longer we have our balance, the longer we have our independence. So keep practicing these exercises consistently and do a time check to see how well you can balance, maybe once or twice a month. And step forward with confidence and knowing that your stronger legs will support you so much better in different areas in your life. And if you enjoy learning like this, share this with a friend who can also benefit, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Click the bell next to it so you'll get notified the next time I come out with a new video. I'll see you soon.